everyone, and welcome to episode 139 of the Holding Court podcast. Today, I'm talking with my friend, Dr. Sarah Garver, wife of Seattle Mariners catcher Mitch Garver. We'll talk about her career journey as a vet, how we immediately bonded over fantasy football, and she'll give some tips on how she is 4-0 in MLB mascot races. All coming up right now on Holding Court.
Bum 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 bum.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me on your second podcast that I just found out I'm not your first.
Thanks for having me.
Let's jump into how we first met. And it was at a very interesting time in my life, right after Justin got traded to Seattle. I think Bo was 3 weeks old. And
so tiny.
Yes. You actually were the first person to reach out to me and welcome us to Seattle. Do you feel like that's your role now as a veteran?
I don't know. It kind of is different on every team, but I try to reach out to people, and we have a connection of a friend, so that's how I got your number.
Like that could be my role as a veteran. And then I don't know, it just gets washed away going to a different team. And then you don't know the dynamic. And sometimes it's a younger wife that kind of takes the reins. So it's always interesting. But Maddie Seeger connected you with me, which I love. And I feel like before I even got to Seattle, you invited me to join something. Do you remember what it was?
Fantasy football. Hello.
Which I was so proud. And I think you wrote or you added me to a group, and I immediately said, okay, good. You guys have one of these here, because I always want to start one anywhere I go. And it was such a relief that you were taking the reins. I was a little mad, I'm not going to lie, or like jealous, or just like I'm a control freak and wanted to have a hand, but you did a great job and you blew it out of the water.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I learned that from Maddie too. Because I played back in the day, I played a few times like in vet school, and then nobody did it with the twins, and I never knew how to do it myself.
Yeah.
And then when we got traded to the Rangers, Maddie was doing it, and I was like, yes, oh my gosh, so good. And so we did it 2 years there, and so I was like, okay, I got to keep this going because it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
It makes football, not that I don't love football, I like football, but it makes you engaged in more than one game.
Oh, totally.
Which is fun. So
it can make you really happy or really upset.
Or not so happy.
And you crushed it. You did the draft party, which was huge, and did all the decorations. I feel like it's a slippery slope because like you could go all in on the party and really end up like,
yeah, what if nobody came? just drafting by myself.
It's happened. My dog. Well, so I actually prefer the in-person draft because we've had some shadiness over the years of people not drafting their own team, or we've had wives that were logged in and they were getting logged out during the draft because their husband or whoever was helping them was trying to get on their account at the same time, and it was booting them. And we take it very seriously.
Yeah, no.
We take it very seriously.
We had someone's dad doing that a few years back. Their dad was controlling their team. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not doing this to play your dad. I want to play against you.
And honestly, I feel like the girls that go into it, I mean, there's always an exception, not really knowing what happens, either like become obsessed with it or they end up winning the whole thing. It's just like beginner's luck.
A lot of it is luck. I mean, you can know everything about football and everyone, but they get hurt week one. I mean, I had Nick Chubb last year. His knees they're done, blown out week 2.
Yeah, and you really can't. I mean, you can try to put your best guys out there, but there's really no way to do it. And anyone that thinks, I don't know, they have all these apps and everything, and people waste their time with it, but I feel like I just go off gut. I always say every year I'm going to go in and prep, and I'm going to like get the scouting report, and Justin does it and prints out all these sheets and everything's highlighted, and
I know. I'm like, what are those? What do those say?
I know, but by the time it gets to me, I think I just see the
Panic.
time going, and okay. I feel like they do it differently because they do it in person. So maybe they have, I don't know. I just go off my gut feeling, and it's done pretty good for me so far. But you actually won this year, so you were on a little run. You took like Super Bowl squares, and you were almost March Madness. Wait, did you win? You didn't win March Madness.
No, I got
I stopped
11.
paying attention because I should have done better. I think I did it on our flight to Tokyo, and I just was going down the line, and I know nothing about college basketball at all. I'm not gonna lie.
Zero.
And I feel like once you're out very early, you're not going to come back. You're not going to have more teams that just suddenly appear and are in.
I don't know. Some people did.
No, I did not.
Because like I was the top. I was like the top forever, and then I chose St. John's to like far, and they were out really early. So then people obviously passed me. The thing about too, like the brackets, I know nothing about college basketball, and if it's like a team, like I went to Oregon State for graduate school, and so like I come to the game where the Ducks are in. I'm like, oh, I really don't like the Ducks, so I'm not going to choose them, even though they're a higher seed.
I know.
Like way higher. I'm like, well, I don't like them, so.
I get that way in fantasy too. I never want to draft a Packers player because obviously I'm a Bears fan, and I don't want to sit there rooting for them, especially if they're playing against them. So I let those things come into play too. Or I see UCLA, I'm like, oh wait, is that the right play? I don't know.
Yeah, same.
It's not the right play, but we've established that you're competitive, and
extremely.
I am sad that we got to the Mariners a little late last year, and I missed a chance to compete in the salmon race, the mascot race, which everyone knows that's listened. I am obsessed with mascots, and I love anything in game that makes.
I didn't know this.
Well, we could have got there a little earlier, but it's kind of your thing now.
I do it every year. Yeah.
4?
So yeah, 4.
Okay. Which teams and what were the races?
So
we know the
2 years.
The salmon race is Mariners.
Yeah. And then 1 year with the Rangers, I did not do it. But the second year is it's a dot. You're literally just a dot. It's a colored dot. And there are 3. That one was really scary because they were like, you have to do it in a certain amount of time, because if you don't do it in said time slot, then you delay the game, and then they get in a lot of trouble. So they actually made us go practice ahead of time to make sure that we could run it fast enough. It was terrifying, and it was so long. But then when your adrenaline's going, it's totally different.
Yeah.
And then I did it 2 years in Minnesota with the Twins. So 1 year I was Louis the Loon. And the second, we always drew who was who, because there are bigger ones that nobody wants to be.
Yeah.
Babe, the blue ox, he's huge. And I was him the second year, but I still finished strong, man. Was
your practice one right before the race? Because I would be.
No.
Okay.
No, it was like at least a week before. Okay. But I was like 10 weeks pregnant too, and I felt like doo-doo. Rough.
You're like, you were in my belly during this.
Lonnie won a race.
I would love to do it. I've been a mascot before. I was the Dunkin' Donuts Latte Cup in college, and I was also the Kmart Blue Light during a minor league baseball season years and years back. I don't think I would be able to race in them. I'm not very fast, but I am intrigued by it. So if the opportunity...
Do the Cubs not have one?
No. No, I don't know what
really?
Would they, I mean, they could have, I know Milwaukee does the sausage race. I love that one.
I so want to do that one. There's one that has the presidents too. It's probably the Nationals, I would guess.
Yeah, that one's good. And then for a while, like Teddy was never winning, which is the same thing in Seattle with Humpy. Is Humpy
so disappointing? He still hasn't won. He almost won last night. I was invested.
So I didn't know.
But I know they're not going to let him win just like middle of the season.
I didn't know last year was the first year for the salmon race. I missed that part. Yeah. Cal actually told me when he came on the podcast, and I thought it was a timeless tradition in Seattle. So I didn't know. I asked him like how many years had he not won? He's like, oh, that was the first season. So I thought maybe this year, but how did you get out of being humpy? And then I feel like, wasn't it Liz was humpy?
Liz was humpy.
Okay. Cause
I just had my
rewatched-
heart set on the nerdy fish because I'm kind of a nerd. So,
It's a good
and
excuse.
she was humpy. So
You have the inner tube one. Okay. Cause I saw a video and I feel like Liz was right in there.
she was.
And then the video cuts out and then you win. So I don't know.
She was faster than I thought for sure. But we hadn't gotten to the straightaway yet.
And that's where you take off and you turn
That's
on
my
the
jam.
burners.
I ran track in high school.
Okay. Yeah.
Good old high school track.
I know.
Take
I
that
still
very
talk about my
seriously.
glory
Yeah.
days of running track and pole vaulting. I always was in the 4x1. I always was oh my gosh, I'm sounding like
Anchor.
I didn't even do it. No, I had to run on please help me out. Not the straightaway, the curve.
Oh, the curve.
Promise
The
I did.
roundabout.
It's not fair. I don't like it. Like I want to just go. I want to go right down.
Well,
the line.
so if you're first or third, you're on the roundabout.
Yeah. Well, I don't like that.
And the first and the fourth person are usually the fastest people.
Yeah, I'm aware of why I was placed where I was placed. I was not that fast. We had a thing going in middle school for a little bit, but then I become the person that talks about my middle school glory years. So we won't do that.
Oh,
Okay, I need to give me a good story of how you and Mitch, you call him Mitchell, but do you call him Mitchell because you like to, I don't know, like set it apart from what everyone else calls him, or how like,
no, I feel like however someone is introduced to me, so he must have introduced himself to me as
oh, I
Mitchell.
love that. It was very professional.
I know, yeah, back in the day. So that's just like what sticks, and I cannot call him Mitch. It's just, it feels ick coming out of my mouth calling him Mitch. So
Okay.
Mitchell.
So I'll call him Mitchell. Okay. Well, everyone that grew up with Justin, his family to this day, they call him Red. And like if I'm at a game and I hear someone yelling that, I know it's someone that knows him from back home. That's never come out
you
of my
can't.
mouth either. Nope.
Yeah, you can't, right? That's me. I don't know.
No, but that's like more of a nickname. Like
Yeah.
Mitch. Okay. Okay. So Mitchell, I need to hear the story of how you two met. I know you have to turn back the clock pretty far for this one.
Yeah, I was actually telling someone the other day, it's been 19 years, which sounds so insane to say because this year's our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
So we've been together 19 years. We met in high school in chemistry class, actually, sophomore year.
Like
and I was sitting
the
next
nerd
to him.
you are. That's perfect for you. It's a perfect setting.
So surprisingly, though, he helped me with my homework in school, not at home. So I guess it was schoolwork, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he's so smart and so dreamy with his green eyes. And then I can't remember if he got taken out of my class or I got taken out of his class because they're like, at the beginning of the years, they kind of switch schedules sometimes to fit, if they mess up. So one of us got moved. I think he got moved out of my class and I was so sad. But I was the TA for the office.
Yeah.
So I would take like the slips to take students out of classes if they needed to come out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I was actually a TA with one of the guys that played baseball with him. And so I would tell him, I'm like, if there's ever one in this room, whatever, he was in Spanish that period, that head TA. And I was like, you have to give it to me. He was like, okay, whatever. So anytime there was a slip to that room, I always took it and, just started talking. MySpace back in the day.
Love that.
I made it into his top 8.
Hey, you were meant to be.
I wonder if I go back. I don't even know my login anymore.
I logged
wonder if
into
I'm still
mine
on
and I
his
still have a
top
top
8.
8. Like your top 8 will still be intact. Even if people haven't logged in for 19 years, it's still there.
I mean, there were times that he shifted in my top 8 and I shifted in his too.
It's really, people were very crazy about that. It is really weird because there's some photos that are on there randomly, but everything is wiped. Like you don't have your wall stuff anymore. You don't have, it's just like little.
What's crazy is like
photos, which is
that you learn how to
best.
do all of that, like make a wall.
Oh yeah,
which was like kind of hard. You have to like copy and paste codes. And like these days, like there's no way I could ever figure that out.
Oh no.
If I had to do that.
No, it's wild. One of those like back in my day kind of things. Okay. So you were in love from the
We were in
beginning.
love. He asked me to be his girlfriend. He did break up with me a few times in high school.
And
2 times.
And we've let him forget that.
Oh, I don't let him forget it.
I would every morning when Justin woke up, I'm like, remember when you broke up with me? I would say that.
Oh, I tell him all the time. I remind him because one of the times, so he played soccer as well, and they were in the state championship. It might have been semifinals, but anyways, it was playoffs. And they lost. And I felt so bad that they lost. And I went and I made him this cute basket with like things he liked, trying to cheer him up, candy, a little MVP ribbon. He broke up with me the next day over text. And I was like, it was awful. I will never let him forget that either.
I'd be like, give me my basket back.
You are not the MVP anymore. I want my ribbon back. But he came back every time. Came running back every time. So
as they do.
And we've been solid since. So, high school, figure some stuff out.
I know. I'm trying to think if I stayed with someone I couldn't do it. I'm happy for you, but it clearly was the one, but
the one.
I get it. Okay. So after high school, so I feel like in baseball, we don't like certain questions as a wife of an athlete. You'll be sitting in the stands and what's the question we always get? Who do you belong to? That one's a terrible one. And then the other one, just in general life, when people say, what do you do? Most people don't like that, but you probably love that because like you have a cooler title job than your husband.
I do love what I do.
So tell me how you got into your career, Miss Career Lady. Doctor. I should have addressed you as doctor when we started the podcast. Yes, I'm sorry.
Please do not call me anything but
Mitchell and the doctor.
I love when sometimes envelopes are like addressed to Doctor and Mrs. Doctor or Mr. Dr. Garver or something like that. I'm like, yes, it's very important.
Oh, the drop down menu when you fill out forms. You're like, okay, let me find it on there. I love that.
So ever since I was little, wanted to be a vet. Like I know a lot of people say that, but I literally couldn't picture doing anything else. And I just loved animals growing up, and I loved medicine. And I can't do people. All people gross me out. I don't want people's bodily fluids on me or around me. So I got into a program in high school. It was like a pre-vet program. So you go there for half the day, a few days of the week, and then you start your classes at the school like later on in the day. So I did that, got a job through that at a clinic by our high school. So I did that. I quit track. That was going to be my actual career, track star. I had to quit
Mine
for
too.
my
I get it.
current career. So I got a job at a clinic, and I was a technician for, I think, 7 years or so, because I did that through college. Mm-hmm. So I did my undergrad at UNM. That's where Mitchell was as well. So we both were there. And then he got drafted in 2013, and I got into vet school in 2013. So I started vet school in 2014 at Oregon State. So I was there for years. He was in the minor leagues during that time, and he actually got called up. So he was with the Twins, and I was doing an externship my 4th year in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, at an emergency clinic. So you had to kind of like your 4th year find some externships, and I just happened to do that one in Minneapolis because I was deciding if I wanted to do a year-long internship following graduation there. Which ultimately I was like, I can't be here during the winter. I cannot be in Minnesota in the winter. That's so, fair. But he got called up while I was there, which was perfect timing. So I got to be there for his debut and everything. So I've been a vet since 2018, and I love it. I'm still doing it. I've done some relief work. At one point during COVID, I was doing some telemed, which was nice to be able to do that. I was licensed in 5 states at one time, but I'm now down to 3, which is nice to keep track of versus 5. Let some of those go. But it's been great. I've gotten to meet a lot of people, do different things. I did some shelter work in Texas, which was nice. So just kind of go in a bunch of places. And I do look forward to going back to work, probably not full time, but more consistently, and like having my own schedule where I can be like, I work this day, this day, this day.
Yeah.
But right now, just going with the flow.
How was it, man? You missed all the fun minor league years, right? Going through it, but I feel like that kind of worked out perfectly.
Well, I spent one summer. So my first year, in between my first and second year, you have the summer off. So I spent like a month in Florida, which is where he was in high A. I think it was high A. But I still traveled some. It was hard though. It definitely was hard. Finances were very tight. Vet school is very expensive. Rent was expensive. He was on a minor league salary. So like spring break, we had a week.
Yeah.
And getting anywhere baseball, and he was in Florida, and I'm in Oregon. It's just hard. It's a whole day of travel, and you don't have that much time, and it's so expensive. They hike up the prices during spring break because it's also spring training. So that was hard to get there, but we made it happen every year. So
yeah, that's so nice that you've been able to continue it. I know you mentioned what is it considered in Seattle where you kind of are affiliated with the hospital, but you're not there like full time? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I'm just kind of, I just contacted someone who owns hospitals here and asked if I could, because what's hard with traveling in the baseball life, you know this, you have dogs, is if you need something, finding a vet and being able to get in somewhere. And, you have to transfer all your records, and it's just hard getting reestablished. And sometimes it might be 3 weeks that you can see someone when you need to be seen sooner. So I just reached out to a guy, and he helps with the Bark in the Park. So he's another veterinarian, helps with the Bark in the Park, and he owns several clinics in the area. And I was like, can I just use essentially your hospital if a player needs something? And then we just kind of set up our own time, and I go in, and they don't pay me or anything, and I don't charge. So players just pay whatever the hospital fees are, but it's just really to help them out, and also just like keep my mind going, keep my brain going. But that's the problem. Like I can answer questions and I can look at your dog, but I don't have vaccines. Like I'm not going to buy a bunch of vaccines and keep them in my house.
I have a Bordetella in my purse. Let me just grab it for you real quick.
Here's some rabies vaccine. So yeah, it's nice being able to kind of contract out of a hospital and do that. And I'm going to be working actually there this season too.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
Not just every once in a while, but.
Yeah, I feel like nothing, I mean, obviously you schedule your vaccine appointments or your wellness exam, but I think with pets, you can wait 3 weeks. It's always something very frantic, I feel like, and it needs something right then and there. And I love the telehealth option. And we had this vet because we love our vet in LA, but obviously on the road, and I can only text him so many times before I feel guilty, be like bothering him in the middle of dinner, sending him photos of my dog's poop or whatever's happening. But we had this, I don't know, whatever it was, like concierge vet, and they had like vets like yourself that were basically working from home or transitioning out of, being in an office full time. And it was so nice, especially for someone that's anxious and someone that's traveling. So I feel like I get that.
Yeah, they're your babies, and it's hard, like, and things happen. And it always seems like things happen on like a Saturday night before a holiday weekend.
Or on a holiday.
Or on the holiday. Like it's just like the will of the world is that when your pet's gonna get sick, it's gonna be on a weekend. Kids too. I swear. My kids, it's like ear infection. Oh, on a Friday night, right when all of the offices just closed.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
I know I've hesitated asking you. Even the day we got to Seattle, Rigby ended up, like Justin had to rush him to like the urgent care vet, whatever was there, like 30 minutes away. And I'm like, don't text Sarah. Like save that favor if you ever really need to like send her photos and ask her something. Cause I imagine people, it's like friends, like I have a friend that's a doctor and she says everyone just goes to her for everything and just doesn't want to go to the doctor and is like, hey, do you mind looking at this mole on my back, or hey, I have this pain. Do you have any idea what it is? Is it the same way with everyone and their dog problems? Do you get a lot of texts?
Yeah. And I don't mind it. Like obviously family, friends, I'm happy to answer questions. I will say though that there are people that reach out to me that I have not talked to since like high school.
It's like the tickets thing with baseball.
Yeah, yes. And they don't even say like, hi, how are you? Try to chat at all. It's just straight vet question. And I'm like, oh yeah, hey, nice to. And me being like, I'm just empathetic with animals and I don't want them like
I don't care about you, but I don't want your dog to have
right. So I'm not, and so I'm not good at like at ignoring people. I can't do that. But a lot of times too, like you got to take your dog to that. Like I can only do so much.
Right.
From the blurry picture you're sending me in the dark and your description of something, like I can only do so much. So a lot of times my answer is, yeah, you should take them in. So
at the end of the day, everyone's just trying to get out of going into the doctor, the pediatrician, or the vet. They want it to be something they can just do on hand.
And sometimes it's that simple, though sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
I also would have always appreciate follow-ups. Like sometimes I give people advice and then I hear nothing and I'm like, is your dog still alive?
With us? Can we get a wellness check?
What happened? So just remember that if you ask advice, let me know the follow-up.
You'll get a follow-up. I know.
Thank you. Yes.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Everyone
I feel like that's the least y'all can do, huh?
Yeah. Send the healthy poop photo after and be like, okay, we're back to normal. I feel like everyone said once you have a kid, you stop caring about your dogs as much. I don't feel like that's true for me. And I don't feel like that's true for you. In fact, I feel like they stress me out more because I
will say they get yelled at a little more because I'm like, don't bark, waking the kid up, like, get away. They knocked Lonnie over so hard the other day. And I was just like, oh, you guys. But I do still love them. But I will say like, Choopy's taken the back seat on being first place because she was first place there for a hot second.
Yeah.
And then now she's third place.
The not caring though is wild to me. Like there are several baseball wives that say, just wait till you have a kid. Like you won't even care. You won't be this. I feel like they just give me more anxiety now. I worry more about them than I worry about Bo. I don't know what it is. Like with him, I have my motherly intuition and I know what to do in situations. With them, they're just a wild card. And they like to pull shit when we're moving, when we're leaving, when something's happening. Like Rigby just decides to eat something or do something questionable. I'm like, okay, here we go. But I think that they sense that they're second fiddle and they're trying to get the attention back.
I know. I love my dogs. They don't get the attention they used to, but we still love them very much and would do anything for them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
So as a successful career wag, do you hate the perception of a wag? I feel like that phrase is just, it's like me saying Mitch to you, right? Like you just, does it give you the ick, or do you feel like in this position as a wife of an athlete, you want to lead more with, oh no, I have my own thing going on. Like I went to school, like I'll have my career, I'll start it up again, those sort of things. Do you feel like you have to interject with that if someone, I don't know, maybe has a preconceived idea of you?
I've not ever like had to do that. I do remember one time we were at, it was in Minnesota and we had a suite. And so it was just like the wives in a suite. And one of the guys next to us in the suite, he was drunk and he said something like, oh, who are you guys with? And we're like, oh, we're significant others of the players. And he said, oh, lucky you guys. And I did pipe up then. Not that I had a career or whatever, but I said, actually, they're the lucky one.
Right.
Not us. Like, that's what I don't like, is that, like, we should bow down and kiss the floor they walk on because, you know, they're professional athletes.
Yeah.
And they have done an amazing job and they worked very hard, and it is hard to be where they are. But a lot of us, you know, are doing our own thing too. And we're not just here as a side piece or whatever. You know, we keep it down, you know, we keep the house together and make all the plans and do the moving and take care of the kiddos and the dogs. So I don't like that part of it.
Yeah.
As far as career, I mean, I think that's just, everyone starts in a different spot, and we've been together so long that like I was always going to do what I wanted to do. Like, that's my dream. And I will tell anyone, and that was my other podcast I was on, is not to put your career or your dream to the side because of your husband or significant other's dream, because this is baseball. It can be done tomorrow.
Yeah, it's fleeting.
Like, there is no guarantee in this lifestyle. So do what you want to do, follow your dreams for sure. And to those people that think we're just here as side pieces,
an accessory.
Are you watching The Clubhouse?
What's The Clubhouse?
Yeah, an accessory. It's the Boston Red Sox documentary.
Oh, no. I need to watch it.
It's
when
so
Justin
good. And
there,
it follows a few wives.
Oh, okay. So
like, there's a few, I haven't finished it, but there's a few, like, and I'm like, I wish more people saw like this.
No, I need
to talk of it.
I need to watch it. Justin, when we were in Boston, he was part of the little crew that was trying to get that, like, they were like on the
He was in it. He was in the episode,
like on the 1 yard line, and they were like, "Come on, Justin, help us pitch it." And they ended up doing it, and then we didn't sign back there. So but we need to watch it. Someone did tell me that he was in an episode with I think Jaron Duran.
Yep.
No, we need to watch it. I don't watch TV anymore. I don't know what it is. I watch Wheel of Fortune or a baseball game, and that's it. I don't know what happened to me, but like,
I love Wheel of Fortune.
For the last 2 years.
You know who loves Wheel of Fortune? Gamble loves Wheel of Fortune.
Oh my gosh.
This off season, every night we'd watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, and he would just like sit there.
Those are my two. I record it if I miss it, and I watch it later. And that's all I need is that 20 minutes, and I'm set. But
then it's Saturday, and I'm like, boo, no Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy today.
I know, or you have to go to Game Show Network and like watch the OG episodes.
I know. I have seen that on there. I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet.
Well, speaking a little to, I guess, the guy in the suite that made the comment, you have been known to respond to some trolls on social media. But you don't have a public Instagram page, right? Do you do this on Facebook? Where are you doing this? Are you doing this on Facebook?
Some people still message me privately.
I guess you could see comments on posts of teams and all that.
So that particular incident that I think you're talking about,
the one I'm alluding to.
So on my Facebook, it was Mitchell's birthday, so the Mariners posted a happy birthday post for him.
How dare they celebrate his birthday?
For his birthday in January in the off season. Wish the kid happy birthday or move on. People have decided to troll. Very much like, not in my house and not on my husband's birthday for a birthday post. Like, just don't do it. Just scroll on.
Right.
And I'm not mean. I just make them realize like where they are. You're on a birthday post.
It's fair. I mean, we've all done it. We've all responded to people. I feel like they just get so much satisfaction out of it. And lately, anyone that I've seen commenting on stuff with Justin, I click and it's like a high school kid. And they always have their like baseball team or their like travel ball team. I'm like, you want to destroy them, but like they're 7. So it's just, it's always just interesting. Or it's like grown men that like play beer league softball. I don't know. Again, like it's always funny to me. I have fun with it. Like there was a time when it would really, really freaking bother me. And I would search Justin's name on Twitter and I would be like looking for stuff. But I always say it's like a Yelp review. I feel like with Yelp, like people are only going on there to say like shitty things. Like no one's going on there to like sing praises or like tweet something when they're like enjoying themselves. I feel like it's just, I don't know. It's the internet. But to end on such a positive note.
I would just like to say, like, you never know who's going to see those things. And I think that's what people need to realize is you don't realize like, hey, that guy's mom or child sees what you are saying. And like, luckily my kids are young enough that they don't understand what people are saying. But there are some people who have older children that might see things you're saying about their dad, who's their hero. And it's just like, I think people don't realize when they go onto social media and they're hiding behind a keyboard, who sees those things. Like, you might be a little more mortified if you're like, oh, I just said these horrible things about this person I know nothing about, and his mom is reading it.
Right.
And, so it's like you wouldn't want your mom seeing bad things about you either.
Right.
Or people talking crap.
And they're human, and they're also trying to do their best. I always find it funny when fans are like, oh, this guy's, it's like, you actually think they're actively trying to not
do well.
every single night.
Do you think they don't want to do well?
Yeah.
Why would they not want to do well? And they work so hard. They work so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are they're just silly. But yeah, I like to just, alert people to where they're at and who's seeing it. And so they don't realize sometimes that the wives can see it. And I don't say mean things to them. I just kind of make them think a little bit.
I love that. Get the wheels turning. I know. And Justin, honestly, we say this all the time. We've never met any of those people in person. So they exist. I don't know where they exist. Or if when they meet an athlete in person, they just suddenly, oh my gosh, can you sign this? Or I just got to say hi. Or can we take a photo?
Yeah, the same person that's talking crap one day is going to be fangirling the next day. Yes. 100%.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, before I let you go, because I know you have to get your kiddos, really quick rapid fire for you, if you're up for it.
Ready.
Favorite MLB stadium?
Actually, I really do like T-Mobile Park.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Favorite road city? Since I knew you were going to say T-Mobile Park.
I love going back to Minneapolis. The food there near the stadium is some of the best.
I've only been there once, but I really enjoyed it.
You should go.
Great mascot too. TV show you're binge watching other than The Clubhouse?
The White Lotus right now.
Okay, I need to start it from the beginning. I'm so behind.
Good. It's good.
Everyone's telling me that. Do you know what your walk-up song would be?
It's by Marion Hill, and I can't think of what. Down by Marion Hill.
Okay, love that. Travel hack, if you have any. Travel
tip. So many. For as a mom, if you're taking a car seat, put all the diapers and stuff in your car seat bag, so it doesn't take up room in your suitcases.
So smart.
They don't care if there's stuff in there, and dirty clothes, like shove stuff in there. They don't ever check.
Smart.
Don't come after me, airlines.
I know. I'm like, now they're going to check. It's like a TikTok hack. Best mom advice. I guess you kind of just gave one, but best mom advice.
You're doing great.
That's really sweet.
Hey, you're keeping a human alive. With literally they hand you this little baby and they kick you out of the hospital and you don't know what the heck you're doing and you figure it out and you're doing great.
I love that. Perfect way to end. Okay, well, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much, Sarah, Dr. Garver, for joining us today. A friendly reminder to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And we're now on YouTube, so you can watch the episodes that way. And then make sure to leave comments and reviews. Love to see them.
Nice comments, because you never know who's seeing them.
That's right. Sarah's going to be reading all of them to make sure. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bum 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 bum.